The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Optavia team.
Thanks, everybody. My name is David Bush, and I get to help you over the next 30 minutes get a chance to take advantage of what the full offering of Optavia has to offer. Now, you may already be a client on our program, and this might be a great opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about what Optavia has to offer, or you might be in a position where you're just kind of exploring what Optavia is for the very first time. Some of you may have just found this from Facebook, or your friend sent you a link, and we're glad that you're here. I think that no matter who you are, you're going to get a chance to get a great experience about an amazing company that's doing some really cool things in the lives of many different people. Tonight we're going to be featuring people that come out of the pharmaceutical profession, and we're going to be sharing some of the transformation stories that have happened as a part of our program. I personally am not a pharmaceutical professional. I was just a dad of 3 kids and a husband and 100 pounds overweight 10 years ago. And a friend of mine challenged me to try the Optavia program. And within just a matter of 6 months, my life had been transformed. And so I went through the coach training program and I became a certified Optavia coach. And now I've had a chance to impact lives of thousands of people. And it's been such a major difference maker to me into the lives of the people that I've had a chance to impact, that I've decided to make it to my full-time profession. Now, you may not be looking for full-time work. You may be looking for an opportunity just to help a few friends, or maybe an opportunity to make some helpful income to help around the home. And that's okay, because we have 25,000 coaches who have taken advantage of this amazing opportunity and the credibility of our company to make health coaching fit into their life to achieve things that they want. And so this company is an amazing organization, which we have a really strong medical efficacy with our programming, and we have lots of clinical studies and medical research that shows the validity of our programming. And why it's changing people is because it's science-based and it's built on behavior modification. Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, the 10th physician board certified in critical care and the valedictorian of his medical class, had high aspirations to become a life-saving doctor. And that's exactly what he did for the first 20 years of his medical professional career. But he got to the point where he started to feel more burned out by the idea that he couldn't help people to create transformation in their life. He wasn't able to help them to create lifelong transformational habits because he had such little time with his patients. And so he created this program, and we have an amazing program, and we have an amazing business model that helps people to be able to work at whatever pace they want and whatever level they want, and to be able to help others that they love and like and care about to create health and lifestyle transformation, one healthy habit at a time. That's what we do as health coaches with Optavia. We're reaching out to people to help them to create more optimal days. That's what our logo stands for. If you look at the very center of that logo, it's 24 different radians, which stands for 24 different hours in a day. And Optavia stands for optimal way of living. What we're doing is we're helping people to create more optimal days by helping them to incorporate healthy habits into their hours so that they add more hours to their life and more life to their hours. And so if you're in a position right now where you are struggling, maybe you're kind of like where I was 10 years ago, where you're part of the health epidemic in America, where now we've got 20 kids of 20 years and over with obesity at almost 38%. And then we've also got people from across the population that are at a point where we're at 71% of Americans are overweight and obese. This is causing significant challenges in the healthcare system. You may already be aware of that. We're getting into more of a prescription mentality. So when we have pain or we have a certain ache or something, we rush to a pill to bring us health, when really the pill is not going to provide us health. What's going to provide us health is identifying what the problem is and then resolving the problem. And that's what Optavia is all about. It's getting to the problem behind the problem. And you'll hear today from a few pharmaceutical professionals that were in the profession or currently are in the profession of using medications to help people to solve painful problems. But it's not really always solving those problems. It's just masking some of the pain that comes with them. But what our 4-component system does is it helps people to get to the problem behind the problem, not just to lose weight, but to create a healthy lifestyle and to create a vibrant life, and to actually help them to learn behavior modification principles and strategies using the components that we have in our program. I'm going to go through those really quick, and then we're going to get a chance to share some transformational stories. The first component of our program is our Optavia coaches. Optavia coaches are not necessarily people that tell you how to live your life. Optavia coaches are caring and knowledgeable individuals who have learned through a training system, a mentoring training system, and a virtual support system, and an online certification training by the Villanova University College of Nursing and the Center of Obesity and Prevention and Education. Our coaches are trained. They're not selling people on the idea of getting healthy or trying to get people to buy things. Our coaches are professional coaches that awaken people on how they can create radical transformation in their life if they choose to, and helping people to identify where they are and where they want to go, and then giving them one-on-one support to guide them through our Habits of Health system. Dr. Wayne Anderson's book and workbook are a transformational system that provides step-by-step processes and step-by-step behaviors that are written in real-life terminology. It's not all written in scientific words or like you're hearing it from a doctor. You're hearing it from a dad, a husband, a person that has a tremendous medical background, but he has a lot of love and care and compassion on how to help you to take those small little habits and start building them over time to start creating the life that you've always desired. The third component of our program is really where all the pieces get brought together. It's the opportunity to bring community together. And this is oftentimes a missing component in an individual's diet or exercise program. They don't have the virtual community, the expertise of medical professionals that are being brought to them on a regular basis. They don't have a place to go for answers or encouragement or ideas or just everyday life hacks to help them to overcome the challenges of becoming a healthier person in an unhealthy environment. So the community complements the educational resources and complements the personal one-on-one coaching that coaches provide. And then the fourth component is the fuelings and the meal plans that we have that are very simple, but they're also very effective. So we don't have to go out there and teach people to read food labels. We don't have to teach them to understand how to plan, purchase, prepare, portion size, and really understand how to get healthy day one. We can start to gradually increase their knowledge over time. And what we do in our fuelings and our meal plans is we teach people to eat every 2 to 3 hours. So they're providing a healthy source of nutrition to satisfy their nutritional needs, but we're helping them to get rid of the excess body fat by providing them a calorie control, nutrition balanced meal plan so that they're able to get rid of the fat, and then they're able to sustain the change by understanding habits of healthy nutrition and habits of healthy hydration. This model of nutrition is based upon what each individual person's interests are and what their medical background is. So we have programs for people with diabetes, and we have people for teenagers or seniors, lots of different types of people out there, and we have lots of different programming options and meal plans that can provide a very simple game plan. And if somebody has lots of dietary restrictions and dietary interests that they want to pursue, like vegetarian or vegan, we can still customize meal plans to meet their personal interests. But for average American people, they just want to get healthy. They want to drop some of the excess weight. They want to get in better shape. They want to be more active and have more energy. And for those individuals, a system that creates very predictable outcomes. And to be able to talk a little bit more about the efficacy of the program, we actually have invited Elizabeth and Joe Montemorano to come in and share their own personal experiences and to share some of their pharmaceutical professional background on why they have chosen to use this program on an individual basis, and now why they're choosing to offer it to others in a professional basis as health coaches. So really glad that you're here, Elizabeth and Joe. Excited to have you guys share a little bit about your story.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. We really appreciate the honor to be able to share our story and our journey to create a healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. Our individual journeys to health we're going to discuss, but also Elizabeth and I are working as a team to create healthy finances as Optavia coaches. And as far as our individual health journeys, my health journey began after Elizabeth became a coach. I volunteered to become her first client. Not so sure that she thought that was the best way to start, but I jumped on board and said, you know what, 2 reasons. Number one, I think I could stand to lose 20 pounds, a weight of 195. And secondarily, I says, let's see if this program works. So I jumped on board. In about 6 weeks, I was down 20 pounds, and I started noticing things. I said, I just don't see how it could be possible. She goes, Joe, it's simple. Just keep doing what you're doing on the 5-in-1 plan. You'll be there. Lo and behold, she was absolutely right. 6 weeks later, I was down to 155. So the journey of a healthy body has been amazing. But after I got there, I started to realize there's a strong connection between healthy body and healthy mind. And what I did is I really embraced moving beyond step 2, which is the weight loss, to step 3, which is establishing your eating and transitioning. But the steps 4 and 5 really got me excited, because that's where Dr. A and the Habits of Health talks about living the habits of health, but also incorporating things like NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenics, and EAT, exercise activity thermogenics, which means I started to be more mindful of what I was doing when I was out and about, not necessarily exercising, but also really starting to get mindful of how I can incorporate some regimens into my week, which means looking at some exercise programs. So about 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week, I started to do fitness training and cardio. So lo and behold, that led into the healthy mind, which started to become things like a great change in my mental acuity. I also started to notice I had a lot more energy, but most importantly, as a retail pharmacist in a very, very busy setting, as pharmacy manager, I started to notice that I was handling the stress so much better. And also with healthy mind that you create with this program, I started to realize by hanging around people in this business that were motivated, excited, goal-oriented, uplifting, and focused first and foremost on helping other people. Secondarily, by doing that, they'd start to see the income. So the healthy mind in this business really is fantastic, and it really got my attention because it's refreshing when you spend time around sick people every day to be around people that are healthy and people that are excited. And finally, with healthy finances, one of the things there that jumped out at me as Elizabeth was starting to, bring on more clients and bring on coaches, we started to see some changes in our secondary income stream that was coming from Optavia, and it started to make a difference. And we started to get excited about some of the choices we had. And then as we continued to build, we got with our coach, and he explained what would it take to get to some of the income levels that would get us some real choices to determine whether or not I would continue working as a pharmacist, or I would have some options of maybe working on my own terms, maybe reduce schedule or whatever. So that was exciting. But then, we also started to talk about some things we haven't talked about in a long time. Some of the places we want to go to, some of the places that we've already been to, we want to do a redo over in Europe. Talked about maybe multi-state residences again, having homes in more than one location, and just starting to come alive and realize that, for 36 years of my life, I was involved in sick care as a pharmacist, and I helped a few people. But now, as an Optavia health coach, I'm involved in healthcare, and I'm not just making a living. Now I can make a lifestyle. So with that, I want to have Elizabeth share.
So David, thank you so much. And I can tell you, after being with this guy for 40 years, being his health coach was probably one of our biggest relationship challenges to date. So we got through it. We definitely got through it. I actually was invited to become a health coach before I was even introduced to the program. And as a pharmacist, the individual that invited me understood my frustration, as I had spent a lunchtime explaining to him all of the reasons why I loved pharmacy and hated what I was doing all at the same time. I was frustrated with not being able to help anyone, and it was maddening and saddening at the same time to watch people's health decline when there was nothing really that I could do except offer another Band-Aid, another patch, another pill. And, when I saw this opportunity to step in and actually help people in this fashion, it excited me. And to be quite honest, I didn't even really give the income much of a thought. It just was that opportunity. And I'm so happy that I did, because then as I started to understand the business compensation plan, I realized it's real. This isn't just, a little kind of side hustle going on thing. This is something I can really replace what I did as a retail pharmacist, not only helping people get healthy, but also to get us out of the system that we were part of, where, like Dr. Anderson talks about, all we ever did was manage sickness. And today we get to really introduce people to the opportunity that they can become healthy. And we're part of that. And just being part of that journey is payback enough even, but to really have the opportunity to change our finances at the same time, what a blessing. What a really, truly, what a blessing. And we're so pleased and happy that you invited us, and thrilled and honored. So thank you so very much.
You bet. Well, it's always a pleasure to have professionals like you with such extensive medical backgrounds and professional education to be able to speak the common language of what we call the trilogy of optimal health and well-being. And for those of you that are watching right now, you might just be thinking about your own life, and some of the things that Joe and Elizabeth just shared may be kind of touching your heart. Maybe the idea of spending more time with your spouse, spending more time with your kids or your parents, and being able to travel, maybe having a little bit more financial resources to invest or to give away. That's what we call the trilogy of optimal health and well-being. It's not about just getting healthy physically in a vacuum that creates the lifestyle changes. You have to be able to change a lot of different things to be able to create an environment of well-being and support, and that's what Optavia provides. Not everybody decides to become a coach. This is not one of those kinds of things. We're not a distributorship. What we are is a professional coaching organization that offers an opportunity for those who do want to pay it forward. So this is not about, trying to go out there and get all of your friends and family members to become the distributors of our fuelings and our meal plans. This is about people deciding that they want to help other people to get healthier, and then getting trained to become a certified coach, working with a mentorship team so that they can actually start helping people right out of the gates. The day that they decide to become a coach, they can start helping people to get healthier because of the physician-led program and the amazing team model of training and support that we offer. So these are some common reasons of why people become a coach, and this is probably a few of the reasons why you're maybe considering it. It's to reinforce your decision to be healthy. It's to pay it forward and to make a difference. More people feel like they're successful than they are significant. So, if you start thinking about the idea of helping a person to get healthy in all areas of life, how does that change your life? Not only how it changes the person's life, but I've had a chance to coach thousands of people to get healthier physically. But it's the ones that transform their lives that make me feel the most significant. And that could be something that could attract you into the coach opportunity. It's also a very fun place to come and help people and to call it work. So if you're in a position right now where you're not feeling joy in your work and you're not having fun and the rewarding impacts, you might want to consider health coaching and the opportunity that comes with it. The compensation is twofold. You get the compensation or the currency of goodwill, knowing that you are making an income and you're doing well by doing good in the world. And then there's also the opportunity to fulfill financial needs and goals because of the significant revenue opportunities that come with the Optavia coach opportunity. And we'll talk about those in just a moment. It also helps you to leave a legacy that casts a shadow beyond the grave, an opportunity for you to make a difference in the lives of others and having them make the difference in the lives of others, and having that ripple just continue on. And one of those that has created quite a big ripple is a pharmaceutical rep by the name of Meghan. And I can't wait for you to hear a little bit more about Meghan's transformational story. As you can see from the picture, she's had an amazing transformation, but that's just the beginning, is seeing the physical side. Meghan, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you so much, David. It is such an honor and a privilege to be able to come on tonight and share my story and what Optavia has done for me. So I want to take you back to 2000. That was the time when I moved to North Carolina, and I had already had 10 years of professional sales experience. But this was an opportunity for me now to make a change. And I had a lot of members in my family that were in the pharmaceutical world, all different kind of jobs in the pharmaceutical world. So I grew up really admiring all of that. So it was my opportunity to become a pharmaceutical rep. It was kind of a dream. So that's what I did. And I loved the fact that they gave us so much information, massive amounts of information, so that when we went to talk to the doctors, we had confidence to do that. And that felt really good. So that felt great to go and do that and build these relationships with doctors and the nurses and the offices and be in a team. We were in a team of other pharmaceutical reps. We were all working together, but I wasn't really making any difference in helping people. And what I realized was, as I was on the sidelines, and our manager would go over with us the numbers, and we would see the numbers of scripts written, but that really didn't affect lives per se. So my husband changed jobs and we moved to Massachusetts. And at that time, I had my 15-year-old stepdaughter and my 1-year-old daughter. And we decided what was best for us at that time was for me to become a stay-at-home mom and pour into those lives. And that was very meaningful, really rewarding. In 2005, I was pregnant with our next child, and I developed gestational diabetes. So there was like my first flag of health. I had gestational diabetes while pregnant. Fortunately, after I gave birth, that corrected itself. But then I knew that I was at a greater risk for developing type 2 diabetes in my life. So my primary care physician, every year with my physical, would check what my A1C numbers. Okay, so we were watching that. Move forward to 2014, I was diagnosed with a form of breast cancer, and I chose to have a double mastectomy. So I spent the summer of 2014 doing a lot of healing, and I was doing comfort eating. You know, what do we do when we're not feeling good and we can't move? I couldn't even lift a gallon of milk. I had to sit and be still. And you might not really see I'm very energetic, but I have a lot of energy. So sitting still wasn't very easy, but that's what I did. I healed. Beginning of 2015, I was healed. I was intact. And I joined the Live Strong program at the Y. They had a 12-week program. It was free to people who were, you know, suffering from some kind of cancer diagnosis. And that was amazing because I got my strength back. However, still didn't feel quite great. And the problem was that little sugar was creeping more and more into my life. I would make homemade cookies for my kids and I would lower the sugar in them, but I was going in the closet and eating them when they weren't watching. And I was having a bigger problem with my sugar cravings. And my A1C numbers were creeping up and I was getting closer to becoming pre-diabetic. And of course, I did not want that to enter my life, but I didn't know what to do. I tried diets because we know diet, exercise. Well, it wasn't until 2017, I saw a picture on Facebook and it changed everything for me. Started messaging, I need to know more. This is different, I could tell. And that got me in touch with my health coach. And so May of 2017, I started on my health journey. And by August, I had hit the goal I hadn't been to in 16 years. And I felt amazing. Within weeks, I knew this was different. Within weeks, my sugar cravings were lower. And I knew this was what I had found. This is what I'd been looking for. My mind was changing. I was making better choices. All of this was coming into play. And I decided in August to become a coach. And that has changed even more. I love our community for clients. We don't do anything alone. We have support, but our community as coaches too even blows up more. We support each other. There's no competition. It's all encouraging and support and love. We get love notes from our clients. Now I hear from clients, hey, went to my doctor and guess what? My weight's down, my health's better. My doctor's telling me, keep doing what I'm doing. And now that pharmaceutical rep turned health coach, now I'm making a difference. Thanks again, David, for letting me share.
Wow, I think you got your energy back. I think it's very evident to all of us that you're doing a great job with transforming your health. And obviously these pictures just say such a great story from a physical standpoint, but hearing those details about that mental transformation and being able to give health to other people. And, Meghan is actually one of our rising leaders, and she's doing an amazing job with helping a lot of people to get healthier. And she's decided to do more than just help people to get healthy on a physical standpoint and with our mental transformation program, but she's also now coaching other coaches because she realized that she could actually invest her time into other people, and then those people could actually invest time into more people, and she could actually impact more people by expanding herself beyond just her retail coaching business. So if you are in the pharmacy business and you have the understanding of, multiple chains have different locations, and, as an individual coach, you would have only who you could serve. But as a business coach with Optavia, you can actually be compensated by expanding your opportunities and helping other people to build their own coaching practice. We provide all the training and all the resources, but business coaches actually have a passion for helping other people to help other people. And then if you want to grow to the business leader position, you can actually take on an opportunity to help a lot more people. And there's different skill sets that you'll learn as you go through our training program. But if you really feel like you want to create a career in health coaching, you don't want to just help out a few people, but you actually want to change a lot of people's lives, like I did, or like Meghan did, or many of us have done, is we want to do more. And by doing more, you get paid more. And so how does this all work for individual coaches? Well, it's very relational. It's not based upon selling and telling. It's about sharing and caring and listening and asking questions and encouraging people to overcome their fears. It's all focused on optimal well-being. You're completely independent. It's self-employed. You choose your own hours. The hours are very flexible. It's just that they're not optional. You can do it on a part-time basis, spare time basis, or you can choose to pursue full-time income opportunities. And it's very low startup. It's $199 to become a coach. There's a $99 annual renewal fee, and there's no ongoing expenses that you are forced to pay or trainings that you have to come to. It's all based on what you'd like to participate in. It's all online. If you'd like to learn resources online, you can go ahead and use those. And there's no inventory that you have to carry or extra expenses for operating costs. A cell phone is pretty much, an internet connection and a cell phone, and maybe a laptop or a tablet is what most coaches use to run their coaching business. And you can do it from anywhere, from other countries, from the beach, the mountains. As long as you're connected from a virtual standpoint, you can do so. There's no quotas or monthly purchases that are required for coaches, and all of the training and support is provided to you at no additional cost, including the mentorship. Our next panelist and final panelist of the night is my friend Todd, and Todd's got an amazing story as well, and I can't wait for all of you to hear it. Todd, welcome to the webinar.
David, thank you. Thank you for having me here. And, I'll tell you, hearing the stories ahead before me was pretty incredible. And I always look at that photo of myself and I'm shocked by it. I initially entered this journey. I've been a nurse for about 20 years. I was interested in the medical field as I was a medic in the military early on. And that inspired me to be a nurse. And as I got into nursing, basically for me, what happened was, I got burned out. It was a marathon sprint. I kind of say, I was working in the ICU. It was 12 hours of kind of nonstop and really stressed out. I was really looking for a way out. And a good friend of mine who I was in nursing school with, went into pharmaceutical / medical device sales. And so he's like, you really got to check this out. So it was an interesting leap. And, I wanted to escape that for a little bit. And I found that when I got into the pharmaceutical world, it was definitely different. And I think that medications have their place in the world, and it was different, but I felt like I was doing a lot of selling because that's what I was doing. And it just didn't really feel that good for me. And I found that I had different challenges with it. And I was just like, I don't know. And I went back to the bedside a little bit. I was kind of, trying to figure it out. And I met my health coach. She was actually on a nursing webinar because I was doing something online, and she seemed just really happy, and she was home with her kids. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want. And so I really reached out to her because I wanted some freedom. I wanted to be able to help people in a very different way. And I didn't know how, other than like, let me go back and get some more training. Let me maybe try to take all these classes to try to figure it out and maybe start my own business. And I really had no idea. And it was a blessing from above that I ran into her. And she simply said this. She said, "Do you have any weight to lose?" And by the photo of me before, I was like, I think I was blind a little bit. But I said, "Yeah, I could lose 5 or 10 pounds." And she's like, "You should see what it's like to be on the program." And I said, "Okay, fair enough, to see what it's like to be coached in the program." And I after 6 days, 7 days, I was down 6 pounds and my energy level was off the chart. And it was so simple, and I actually saved money, and it was convenient. And before I knew it, I just kept going with it. And, I'll share my age on public TV here. I was 45 years old. I had 6-pack abs, and I didn't spend a ton of time in the gym. I share that a lot because people think that like I must spend like 4 hours in the gym a day, and I really don't. And, but more importantly, I just really started helping people. And it was great, helping people. And like, I think Meghan was mentioning, like, I get text messages all the time, like, "Oh my God, I'm down X amount," people tell me their values and their labs and all of that. And it is just amazing to see how people's lives transform. It's really amazing. And I share that with people all the time. And, seeing Facebook posts, like somebody was saying, it would, people inspire people, and this was not selling. And that was great. It's caring and sharing, not telling and selling. That, myself, I didn't want to be part of that. And the business model that this has is just amazing from a compensation perspective. And it allowed me a lot of freedom financially, which is great, But, one more thing I just wanted to add was, like, I feel like every day, just purpose, and like I'm adding some meaning and helping people change their lives. And, recently, I was able to leave my full-time job to help others. And it's just been the greatest thing ever, and blessed to be part of this.
Great. Well, we love stories like Todd's, and all the stories that were shared tonight by Meghan and the rest, is that we get a chance to really share hope, and share hope for all of you that are maybe looking for an opportunity to do more than just get healthy physically, but maybe to transform your life and to transform other lives in that process, because that's the only way that you're going to be successful with Optavia. This is not something where you can become this untransformed person and try to transform a bunch of other people. Your life is transformed in the process of helping others to be transformed. So all of our resources and training are readily available. And like I said earlier, you can learn while you earn. So you don't have to go back to school, and you can start this process immediately. So we would encourage you, if you have a desire to learn more and you're ready to explore what Optavia coaching looks like for you, we'd encourage you to reach back out to the person that invited you to this particular presentation or shared this video with you. And maybe if this presentation is actually stirring up something in your mind to get started, there's some really exciting upcoming events that are coming up that you're going to want to know about, that are going to help you to launch your coaching business and to become successful right away. So make sure you talk to the person that invited you or who shared this video with you. And if you do like the video and you're watching a recording, be sure to leave a comment. We'd love to hear more about your experience. On behalf of all the panelists, I just want to say thank you for joining us, and we look forward to helping each and every one of you to create lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. Have a good night, everybody.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Optavia team.